If you enjoy this podcast, then be sure to check out Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily, where you can get your daily dose of farm wisdom. Tune in every day to learn the latest tips, tricks, and stories from the world of farming. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just getting started, our podcast has something for everyone. Join us as we explore topics like farm business, crop planning, soil management, and tools and technology. Start your day off right with Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily, available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe today.
Yeah, can you elaborate on that on a temperate climate standpoint? I mean, obviously we don't have that problem here in California, but in areas where you get winter, where you get snow, I think a lot of people take it for granted. Well, the ground's frozen, the snow's covering it. I don't need a living cover. What cover crops would be beneficial to have in the ground under that snow cap? And why is that beneficial? And how does that play out over the season from the fall through the freeze to the thaw?
Very good. I was hoping we will get there, because if you notice so far, we have not mentioned one word of possibility of continue to degrade the land, which is erosion, soil erosion. So if you retain the residues and you have those roots as a cement that they keep the particle, doesn't matter, you got snow, the snow blows, but not everything else, right? So first benefit of keeping the soil green in terms of having a cover is to protect from rain erosion and wind erosion. Okay. Second, remember that winter wheat, resists to a temperature of minus 17 Celsius. That's roughly minus 30 Fahrenheit or so. Okay, it has that. So the snow keeps it at a microclimate close to zero. The plant kind of goes dormant for a little bit. But when the snow, and some places, especially now in these more recent years, the soils are not fully covered by snow all the time. There is melting, and so there is basically life coming back in on a very, very slow situation. But the first immediate benefit is keeping the soil cover and protecting from erosion. The next thing is, as soon as life comes back in the early spring, then the plant is already there. The roots are there. They're ready to go. Why? It gets warmer and they have water. So the next thing, if you're interested in seeing the plant growing, it'll grow fast, right? Because of the initial warming temperature and the possibility of using that water, right there to be able to allow that to. Now, what's interesting is, because of this situation of, if you're not able to put a cover crop at the right time, why would you not be able to do that? Soil is too wet. It's just you really could be in the fall. You have a significant amount. So one more recent is called interseeding. Okay, so interseeding at D3, D6, when the corn plant has 3 colored leaves, so it's about this tall, you can basically plant the cover crop. We show there is 2 studies that I actually recently published here with a project with a colleague of mine, Karen Renner, in cover crops be able to not compete. Basically, doesn't affect, because corn is already gone in its own way. Why would not? Because it starts covering them. So but they're alive. They get some light coming through. And so when you harvest crop, you have a beautiful green crop that stays over winter and stays, basically. You reduce the patchiness when you go in winter because of the variability in soil water and soil profile and temperature and texture. It'll be, what I mean by patchiness, one area would be very well established, another area wouldn't even, wouldn't come out. But if it's planted at a proper time through interseeding when there is, then you will have a better stand, a better possibility of getting that. And so that's an improvement of having interseeding, which benefits back to the possibility of having this diversity of roots. And you have to be in a very dry condition, obviously. If you talk about having cover crops or interseeding more in a Mediterranean climate, then it's not a popular thing to do because they would use water. Okay, so it depends. California is very similar in a way, but if it is done with the concept of possibility of building carbon, retaining water, even the rainfall that occurs, it allows better infiltration and less runoff, because the intensity of the rain, it's reduced. Imagine a heavy rain hitting a soil with nothing on it, and heavy rain hitting the leaf, and then slowly the droplets come in, and you have a significant reduced runoff if you have a cover on your soil. And so that's another benefit. This needs, I'm usually with my student, we write diagrams, and we see my message here is there is one size fits all. Oh, but I heard that this does this. It's just never be. You have to be surprised all the time because how things. Yes, there's one way, but there is this other component that pulls you back. So it's a system. It really is. It's a system of feedback and dynamics that everything that I pretty much talked about with you. And I really compliment you with such a deep knowledge of putting the system together yourself to understand how basically the soil plant atmosphere behaves across different spaces and conditions.
Hello, growers. Looking for a simple way to supercharge your diet with powerful nutrients? Meet broccoli microgreens. These tiny sprouts pack 10 to 100 times more nutrition than mature broccoli, making them a true superfood. With their mild flavor, broccoli microgreens can be added to any meal or smoothie, giving you a tasty health boost. They're easy to grow, ready in just 7 to 9 days, and thrive in various environments. Rich in sulforaphane, calcium, vitamin C, vitamin A, iron. They protect your cells and fight inflammation. Perfect for boosting your health goals or as a market crop. Start growing them today and experience the benefits. Get 100% organic, pathogen-tested and pathogen-free broccoli microgreen seeds at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below.